Okay, here is an image of a parametric, and actually, if you go to the math office, I think we still have them where some students had created and built some different forms of the parametric shape. Okay, so today we're going to look at parametrics that involve trig. What is different between these two equations versus the equations we did last week and that you did for, or sorry, that we did on Monday and that you did for homework? They have sine and cosine. Okay, there was a special relationship that put sine and cosine together. Who remembers what that relationship is? Okay, so sine goes with y, cosine goes with x typically. The x-axis, y-axis. Keep talking to me. I want an equation that puts them together. There's an important equation that we use over and over again. It's one of the trig Pythagoreans when you were doing identity. One of the identities that involved cosine and sine. Excellent. I knew somebody would come up with it. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. This is going to be very important, okay? All right. What I'm going to do is get trig by itself. So in the first equation, it's the trig by itself. Yes, it's by itself. Because this t here is the angle. It's your theta, okay? T for theta. Cool? All right, and this one, is it by itself? No. So when I rewrite it, cosine t is going to be y over 3, okay? Now we're just going to plug into this formula right here. So what is sine t? X. So x squared plus what is cosine? Y over 3 squared equals 1, and that simplifies to x squared plus y squared over 9 plus, sorry, undo that, equals 1. Okay? And if we wanted to, we could put this 9 over 9 so that it is a common denominator. Okay. And we're not going to do it today, but I need you to think back to Algebra 2 when you learn the different forms. Circle, ellipse, hyperbola, hyperbole. Yes? The different shapes. Ring a bell? Yeah? Okay. Good? All right, let's look at our next example. Okay, is the trig by itself in the first equation? Excellent. The second equation, when I go to rewrite it, it's going to be y over 8 equals sine t. Okay? Which one's going to come first? Sine squared. So what am I going to do first? X or y? Y. So y over 8 squared plus the x squared equals 1, which really means y squared over 64 plus x squared equals 1. Not too complicated, correct? What's the key piece that you have to remember? What are we going to use every time? Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Okay, the next one I would like you to try on your own. There you go. All right, so this is going to become cosine t is x over 9. This is going to be sine t is y over 5. So my equation becomes y over 5 squared plus x over 9 squared equals 1, which simplifies to y squared over 25 plus x squared over 81 equals 1. Good? All right, please locate this paper that we started with on Monday. And on the back, Number 6 and 7. Please complete 6 and 7. So you should have cosine t is x over 3 and sine t is y over 3. Making my equation. Who wants to help me out? Y over 3 squared, x over 3 squared equals 1. And when I simplify it, it is y squared over 9 equals 1. Good job. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this one is already simplified, yes? No need to do anything. This one, what am I going to do first? Divide by 2. Remember, when you're solving an equation, it's order of operations backwards. So I'm going to divide by 2, and then what do I need to do? Square root it, okay? And that is my sine t. Now, don't worry about simplifying it yet, okay? Hold off on simplifying until after you plug it in, because sometimes it's a wasted step. So if you notice, we're going to do this, and we're going to square it, plus x squared equals 1, yes? Okay? And so this cancels this, so y over 2 plus x squared equals 1. Now, this is not an ellipse, it's not a circle, it's not a hyperbola, okay? This one, there is a y, there is a plain y, so I need to get y by itself to see what type of equation it's going to be. So how do I get y by itself? Subtract x squared. So y over 2 equals a negative x squared plus 1, or 1 minus x squared. Okay, how do I get rid of the 2? Multiply by 2. So y equals negative 2x squared plus 2. Now, who can tell me what type of graph this is? It is a parabola. It's a quadratic. Good job. Okay? You want to recognize all those. Those are still things that they ask you on college placement tests. They do ask you order of operation things. They do ask solving equations. They want to see that you have all of your mathematics together. Good? So this happens to be a parabola that is stretched vertically by 2. It is facing down, and it is shifted up 2. There you go. It's something like that. Good? Okay, time to check last night's homework.